WADI, which means Uwezo wa Dijiti. It's a loose translation from Capabilities of Digital, so it's our Swahili word. And this project started in 2021 in partnership with DIAL to establish the correlation between digital transformation and the principles of digital development training in Kenya.
To realize a successful and sustainable digital economy, Kenya developed a blueprint containing 5 pillars for achieving digital economy, namely the government, digital business, infrastructure, innovation-driven entrepreneurship, digital skills and values.
This partnership, one, is very key and very instrumental, because then we're able to learn from the Kenya Society for the Blind. How do we design our training programs, and how do you design this particular digital principles training program to be adapted and to be well suited for persons with visual disability, so that we're in line with UN's goal of leave no one behind, and also the Kenyan standards on ICT tools. So being able to design programs or to design tools that are all inclusive.
For the first time, I think I am very glad to see that principles have been developed that are inclusive and that cater for everyone and all circumstances that we live in. And therefore, you find all the principles of digital development have been created so that it makes the projects that are being developed, digital projects, are inclusive and they do not leave anyone behind. So for me, I feel included. I feel that this is the way that the world should head.
The WADI Kenya project has digitized and adapted the principles for digital development, both to a local context and to make it more accessible to persons with visual impairment, with aim to build digital capacity within the Kenyan's development sector, a critical component among the 5 pillars in Kenya's digital economy blueprint, building digital skills among its citizens, training various stakeholders groups on principles for digital development within the Kenyan context also contributes to strengthening digital capacity in Kenya and building a broad base of digital leaders who are more capable of designing and managing the safe, responsible, and inclusive use of digital and data tools.
The role of the principles for digital development and digital accessibility, and I would also again mention the universal design principles, which require that universally, when you're designing anything, it should be universal. It means it should be for everyone. So how that then relates to the principles is that the principles for digital development are aimed at supporting the players within the ecosystem while designing and implementing projects that are digital in nature, and if they follow the principles, and again just to highlight some of the principles, the key principles are, for example, what you're designing must be user-centered. It must also be informed by what exists within the ecosystem, and you should also make sure that what you're designing and implementing has capacity to scale and is sustainable, right? So these principles apply across all development projects that are digital in nature, but focusing specifically to persons with disability whom we want to make sure that they are inclusive. So from a point of inclusivity, that's when now we again integrate the universal principles within the principles for digital development. So in a nutshell, I think the principles present a good opportunity to inform projects that are designed to be sustainable and scalable. Otherwise, based on my previous experience, is that projects that have been designed and implemented that are digital in nature that did not apply the principles tend not to be successful. And I speak from a point of information because I've implemented many projects that are digital in nature or ICT enabled in nature. And I'm a strong advocate of the principles. And it's for that reason that I encourage all my partners to make sure that the principles are mainstreamed or are actually applied in all the projects that we design and we implement, at least for the Kenya region that I'm responsible for.
We want to thank our partners, the Digital Impact Alliance, the UK FCDO, our partners, the University of Nairobi that we've worked with closely, and finally the Kenya Society for the Blind for being such great partners in this journey. And we look forward to continuing to engage in more. With WADI, we're hopeful that we'll continue to have a long-lasting training of trainers community. Thank you.